The hunger strike came in the backdrop of his allegations that the government is not taking action on corruption cases against former Chief Minister and BJP leader Vasundhara Raje. Pilot termed this as a fight against corruption, while the party high command sees it as an anti-party activity. Sachin Pilot is in Delhi. He reached last night and is likely to meet the Congress chief tomorrow, we are told. What does Sachin Pilot want this time? Well, demand number one is that there should be an inquiry into Raje government's mine allocation, which is being claimed to be a scam worth 45,000 crore rupees. Demand number two, that there should be a probe into all allegations of corruption cases during the BJP's term, and that the Congress must deliver on this because it is one of their poll promises, a crackdown on corruption. Meanwhile, the Congress in charge of Rajasthan, Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, met party chief Mallikarjun Kharge in the capital today. Randhawa submitted a report on Sachin Pilot's fast in Jaipur. This is what we know of the report. One, it has video and audio recording of the fast that Sachin Pilot was part of and mounted. It includes an assessment of people who joined Sachin Pilot's dharna. And we are also being told that this has details of Sachin's quote, anti-party statements. Clearly, the winds are still not blowing in Pilot's favour in Rajasthan as far as the Congress High Command is concerned. Meanwhile, today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while launching Rajasthan's first Vande Bharat train, referred to the Chief Minister as a friend, but also took a dig at the ongoing political crisis and the rebellion Gehlot is facing. Listen.
गहलोत जी का विशेष रूप से मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि इन दिनों वो राजनीतिक आपाधापी में उनका अनेक संकटों से वो गुजर रहे हैं, उसके बावजूद भी विकास के काम के लिए समय निकाल करके आए, रेलवे कार्यक्रम में हिस्सा लिया, ये मैं उनका स्वागत भी करता हूं, अभिनंदन भी करता हूं.
The Prime Minister certainly deemed it as some grave danger to Gehlot, but is it? Doesn't seem to be. But overall, this Gehlot versus Pilot battle continues to simmer. Is this going to ultimately sink the Congress in Rajasthan, and is it being done to do so? We'll take that debate forward.
पत्र लिखने के बाद दो बार याद दिलाने के बाद भी जब कार्रवाई नहीं हुई, और मैंने कई पत्र लिखे मुख्यमंत्री जी को, आमतौर पर जवाब आ जाता था, लेकिन इन 2 पत्रों का जवाब नहीं आया.
पहली बार एक राज्य ने जो उपलब्धि हासिल की है स्कीमों की, वो राज्य स्कीमों का नेतृत्व प्रदान कर रहा है अन्य राज्यों को. ये हमारे लिए गौर की बात है.
देखेंगे, अभी उन सभी से बात करेंगे, पूरा घटनाक्रम देखेंगे. कल जो उन्होंने भाषण दिए हैं, जो भी किया, उनको मैं स्टडी कर रहा हूँ.
Let's go across to the guests who are joining us. Rakhi Rathore, Rajasthan BJP spokesperson. I'm also joined with Sanjay Jha, political analyst who's been with the Congress party formally. Tushar Gupta, senior editor, Swarajya magazine, is also with us. I can see Rashid Kirwai, senior journalist who tracks the Congress party closely as well. The Congress has declined to be a part of this debate formally and officially. And Sanjay Jha, no surprises why. This is continuing to be a thorn in the Congress's backside, if I may use that term. And it is not going anywhere. You know, they've tried to sort it out. They've obviously made their intentions very clear as far as the party high command is concerned. But Sachin Pilot is at it again. How serious do you think this can be for the Congress party? Because it's not unheard of, but it is still a little crazy that you're sitting on a dharna against your own government.
Well, I think we are clearly living in a parallel universe here, no doubt about it. And if the Congress party was in the center, I would have almost excused, some degree of political arrogance or hubris leading to this kind of an internecine feud. But this battle between Mr. Pilot and Mr. Gehlot has been happening for a long time.
Yes.
Definitely it escalated after the 2018 elections. Both of them had their reasons, but Mr. Pilot definitely felt that he should have been the chief minister. Now, what is astounding and frankly unfathomable is why the Congress leadership, and I'm talking about those who are designated to handle the state and those who are frankly sitting in New Delhi, including the Congress Working Committee. That's a job, right? To troubleshoot when you have a problem at a state level. Everyone has snoozed and slept and been somnambulating over this whole issue. It's sleepwalking all the way through. And now you have an election in 8-9 months. And if anybody believed that this problem will just kind of evaporate into thin air, I mean, they were clearly living in a fool's paradise. I think there's one positive that is emerging out of it. That's the only silver lining I can see.
Okay.
Is that it is happening still 9 months before an election. And the Congress now will be hard pressed to take a call. You know, this is not the way to run a political party, in my opinion, where you allow senior leaders. These are powerful brands. Mr. Gehlot has been a chief minister 3 times, and Sachin definitely is the future. And if you're going to allow their relationship to become so acrimonious publicly, sporadically every 3 months, you damage the party's credibility in a very crucial state. And I think that's absolutely inexcusable, in my opinion. But the only hope that I can see is now there will have to be some steps taken. The Congress has to take one simple call. If you want Mr. Gehlot to continue as the chief minister, so be it. But who's going to be the face of the party going forward? In my opinion, logically, it should be Sachin. But I don't know.
But I think the party has made up its mind, right? After the rebellion last year itself, the party put its hand on Mr. Gehlot. My question is, and Rashid Kidwai can come here, Sanjay Jha feels that the party is just dealing the inevitable. They'll have to do something. Today, if we hear some of the murmurs from the party, it is clear that they're not looking at Sachin Pilot's actions very favorably. And so was the case after the last rebellion, where he even lost his position as the deputy chief minister. What I am not understanding is, where is Sachin Pilot coming from when he sees nothing go his way? It's clearly there are no doors opening for him despite these rebellions.
It's a war of attrition that is going on in the Congress. There is a lot of
posturing on the part of Mr. Sachin Pilot, Ashok Gehlot, Tukab, and Mr. Randhawa, who is General Secretary in charge. But in nutshell, what I see, Shivani, what is going to happen is there's going to be some kind of breakthrough. It will not be a repeat of, Navjot Sidhu and Chandi kind of experience of Punjab, but one plan A, according to my mind, Mr. Sachin Pilot may be drafted in the CWC, made AICC General Secretary, etc., or he's made Rajasthan Congress Pradesh, the State Congress Unit Chief. So this is one of the 2 options that Mr. Kharge is to decide, and Mr. Pilot is to agree. This is the long and short of it.
But Rashid Kidwai, why is it taking so long? As Sanjay Jha is saying, it may be still 8-9 months before elections, but this is a situation that has been ongoing for years. So why is it taking so long for the Congress party? Or is it that they have taken the decision, it is for Mr. Pilot to get the hint?
Yes, I think, Shivani, it's all mix of all these things. Why do you call it a grand old party? Because the Congress is quite allergic to change. You look at the BJP in contrast, they also face a lot of, dissent and a lot of disquiet in the party units of Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh, etc. But the crisis management is very swift. And there is one power center. In the Congress, we do not know if Kharge is in charge or Gandhi is in charge. A lot of political kho-kho goes on in the sense that, the Gandhis would expect Kharge to take a call. Kharge would wait for a signal from Gandhi. So all these things are there. But I think there is a, realization after yesterday's dharna that something has to be done.
Yeah, something has to be done, and it is clear that at least from what we are hearing, nobody is looking at it very favorably for Mr. Pilot. But before I get to Mr. Pilot's future course of action, as Sanjay Jha said, that he should be the party's face, but clearly the party is not deciding that. Let me bring in the BJP's Rakhi in as well. Rakhi, how do you see the fact that Sachin Pilot is regularly poking holes in the governance of his own government and is sitting on a dharna, was sitting on a dharna against, the Congress's chief minister?
Look, Shivani, actually, this is because of the weak leadership they have in the center, because the question raised by Tushar and Rashid, the answer is one line. They have a weak leadership in the center, and that is why we have seen this kind of political drama since 2018 in Rajasthan. And these statements which were given by Sachin Pilot on Sunday is out of frustration because they are not able to control the level of language they have shared with each other, like Nakara, Nikamma, Gaddar type of languages they have used for each other. And this is the reason, because of this conflict between these two senior leaders, that the state government, as the state government is not able to perform properly. In fact, they failed to perform in each and every department, and this is the basic reason. But I want to thank Shivani, Mr. Sachin Pilot, that he raised the issue of corruption in the state, because we have seen corruption in each and every department of the state.
He is raising the corruption during your regime.
Now, we are ready to face any kind of inquiry, and Shivani, it is very obvious that during this election year, if they will be able to conduct any inquiry and will be able to prove that something was wrong during BJP tenure, then they are going to get a benefit out of it. So I think it is very obvious, but they know that nothing would be done, because the Chief Minister has constituted a Mathur Commission in his previous tenure, and nothing came out of that report. So they know that nothing is, they don't have any potential evidence regarding these corruption charges. And that is why, because Sachin Pilot was a member of, he was a part of the government in first 1.5 years.
Yes.
And he is also a member of assembly, but he has never raised these issues earlier. So this is the question. So it is all politically influenced.
So it's all opportunism
and there's an
and really an infighting which is spilling into what the BJP's rule was. But Tushar Gupta, you look at the optics of what is happening. At the central level, Rahul Gandhi, no longer the Congress chief, but clearly the face of the party, is leading a corruption fight against the central government, right? On the issue of Adani, every day. You've got your own leader, Sachin Pilot, again a young leader of your party. Sanjay Jha certainly feels he's the future of the party in Rajasthan. He's leading a corruption, march of sorts against your own government in Rajasthan. He's saying you are not acting on corruption. How does it look? I mean, in today's day and world, what happens in Rajasthan is not limited to just Rajasthan.
It's embarrassing for the Congress, for the lack of a better word. It's embarrassing. There's no other way to describe it. They saw it happening in Madhya Pradesh. They couldn't control it. I mean, you can tweet all the philosophical quotes about time and patience, but at the end of the day, you need to keep the party together. In Punjab, it was Navjot Singh Sidhu publicly coming out against Captain Amrinder Singh, who then resigned before the elections were due. Now, if you had installed Navjot Singh Sidhu as the head of the party, why was there a need to get Charanjit Singh Channi in? Another embarrassment, the election was lost. Now coming to Rajasthan, again the same story. Now, the conflict between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot is not new.
Yeah.
But there has not been any sincere attempt from the party leadership to resolve it.
But what should they do?
The question is very simple.
Tushar, I actually feel here the Congress has given enough hints. What can they do? Short of, they've stripped Mr. Pilot of his, designations. What else is there to do? Either then they make it clear to him that he needs to go.
Exactly. So either they invest in him as the future of the party, which Sanjay Jha is suggesting, and rightfully so. Either they tell Gehlot that Sachin Pilot is the future of the Congress in Rajasthan and in the region, and we want to back him to win us the Lok Sabha seats in 24, or you show him the door. You have to do either of the two things, because this public conflict, this public embarrassment happening again and again doesn't bode well for the party just 9 months before the elections, just a year before the national elections. It's clear that Ashok Gehlot has the MLAs on his side. It is very clear that Sachin Pilot cannot get 100 MLAs or take down the government.
Yeah.
So what is the right option for the Congress? Either settle down the conflict between the two, tell who's the future and who's the present, or simply show one the door. That is how it needs to be dealt with. But somehow within the leadership, there is this notion that not doing anything is also doing something.
Actually, it's damned if you do or damned if you don't for the Congress party. In Punjab, they did do something and it didn't work for them. Right? In Punjab, the question is, why did you need to boot out Amrinder Singh in the manner that you do? So, sometimes it is a tricky one, but unfortunately for the Congress party, whether they take a call or they don't take a call, sometimes it's harsh calls or easy calls. There's no way to know whether it will go their way. They have to be very clear. The BJP formula doesn't always work for them. But Sanjay Jha, you wanted to come in here. I think the Congress has taken the call that it wanted to take. It has given a clear message. Now, what are the options for Sachin Pilot? Instead of keep doing this, or really just make a fresh start for himself?
Shivani, I'll try and answer all your questions very succinctly. Point number one, and I again speak with some degree of confidence here. The Gandhis did want, and I say Gandhis means, the leadership pre Mr. Kharge, they did want Sachin to become the chief minister a little earlier during the course of this year or late last year, number one. Point number two, the insurrection that Mr. Gehlot himself did on his own party. You remember the time when the Congress president election was coming up. He hijacked his own MLAs because his intention was to be both the chief minister and the Congress president. I think Mr. Gehlot, frankly, in a great number of ways, committed political harakiri, and his credibility with many people in the Congress high command today remains highly fragile. Point number 3. If that insurrection against his own party was not an anti-party activity, clearly for Sachin Pilot to make a statement on political corruption against the BJP, just because Mr. Gehlot's government hasn't done it, cannot be deemed as an internal sabotage. Now, let me be very frank with you. I believe this is where Indian politics needs to change. At least people like us will change it when we become mainstream. See, the point is, assuming all of us on this program are part of one party, and assuming that if I was your leader, if you didn't agree with me and you were critical about some of my policies publicly, so what? I think that's pretty much a par for the course. I think the truth is simple here, that end of day, the Congress leadership has been extremely ham-handed and, in my opinion, very lazy in trying to take a tough decision. Politics is about recognizing that you are going to be constantly biting the bullet. Now the point is that it doesn't have to be either or. You see, the problem when the leadership doesn't understand the problem, they think if you favor Gehlot, then Sachin has to be out of the party. If we make Sachin the man, then Gehlot will rebel and go to the other side. I mean, the politics is the art of managing this in a very intelligent way, where you actually have both people working together to make sure that Congress makes a unique comeback in a swing state that is going to likely go the BJP way if you follow past historical trends. This is a leadership decision. Mr. Kharge has to take the call, and I don't know what is he waiting for.
Well, Mr. Kharge is possibly not taking the calls. Let's face it as well. If he was, then maybe we could blame him, but let's be fair to him. Rashid Kidwai, final word to you as well. So, what is in store for the next few months, you think? Where do you think the Congress High Command, quote-unquote, will take those tough decisions? Those delicate decisions, can they handle it delicately and placate both sides, give something to both sides, as Sanjay Jha is saying, not lose out on either of the faces, which they anyways cannot afford to do, I think? Or are they just going to wait and see how this plays out?
Shivani, purely in theoretical terms, all of that Sanjay Jha is saying is the realm of possibility. But on the practical side, there are a lot of problems. Congress High Command is very weak. It is divided between one side Gandhi, the other side Kharge. Then we must also remember the whole issue of funding Bharat Jodo Yatra, funding this Congress coffers are empty, and the chief ministers are known to have some kind of leverage in such matters. So Mr. Ashok Gehlot just come from that, and the BJP is not that innocent. You see how the Prime Minister tried to drag Mr. Ashok Gehlot today, and the spokesperson here in our panel is trying to sympathize with Sachin Pilot. So there's a lot of politics that is happening.
But they will do it. You can't blame them. They will fish in troubled waters.
I am narrating. I am not blaming. I am just narrating this thing. So I am saying that there are lots of things are not as easy as Mr. Sanjay Jha thinks, because there are a lot of complications out there.
I'll just disagree with one thing what Sanjay Jha has said. In politics, I think it's not okay that you criticize a leader publicly. It doesn't always work. You need to have some discipline, and you can thrash it out behind closed doors. But what Sachin Pilot is doing is not necessarily the only way to keep your government on track. But yes, Rashid Kidwai, please finish quickly, then I'll bring in final comments from our other two guests.
So I'm saying that this is the real problem of Congress. When they are handling a crisis, they don't know how to resolve it. And there are a lot of people like Mr. Randhawa who are there to spoil that whole thing. This whole business of giving report, etc., is something that is going to create a lot of problems from time to come. I mean, I'm saying in the next couple of days or so.
Okay, very quickly, I've got just a minute left. Rakhi, I mean, I don't know how delicately I can put it, but are you going to want Sachin Pilot to come to you? That's the only way I can ask this.
Shivani, it's a very hypothetical kind of question because, Sachin Pilot has never indicated anything and no statement was given by BJP as well. So I think this question is not, I can't answer this question right now because it's nothing like that right now. But the point of the fact is that the people of Rajasthan are fed up with the political drama, which is happening from last many years, in fact, from 4.5 years. And Chief Minister is busy in taking care of his chief ministership only.
Yeah, so this fair is enough. No, that's a fair point. And the public will take note of that. Once again, Tushar, very quickly, I've got 15-20 seconds left only. What do you think is the road ahead for Sachin Pilot? BJP?
Not really. Sachin Pilot has a better shot at having an independent party, but again, he doesn't have the numbers. He is trying to get something he cannot conquer with the numbers he has. Gehlot is trying to hold on to something he cannot have forever. And the party leadership is just sitting mum, giving all the benefit to the BJP 6 months ahead of elections. For Pilot, there is nothing to gain from it. For BJP, there is everything to gain.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us for that candid discussion. I have to slip into a very short break. On the other side, we'll get you more news and updates.